A federal appeals court in California has ruled that a Northern California high school that told students to wear their American flag t-shirts inside out during Cinco de Mayo did the right thing. So during Cinco de Mayo, Hispanic students were wearing shirts with Mexican flags on it, and other students came in and they were wearing shirts with the American flag. Administrators at this school said, you know what, you guys need to wear the shirts inside out because you're trying to start a fight. Now, I should put this into context. Apparently, the school district has had a number of issues with race relations there between white students and Hispanic students. So they did this in order to protect all students and make sure that a fight would not break out. Now, according to the 9th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals, the school officials' concerns over racial violence outweighed students' freedom of expression rights.
Really?
Yeah, no way. Still not buying it.
100% with it. 100%. We disagree on this every single time.
What?
When you're in school, those administrators get to make sure that no fucking shit happens to those kids at school. And if it means they got to turn their shirts around and then you leave school and you can wear, up till the point you get in school, you can wear whatever you want. But that is a deliberate attempt in wearing those American flags to incite shit. And they can't risk it, no matter how small. Those kids have got to be safe there.
Yeah.
I'll never agree to that.
Yeah.
So you're with Ben?
100%,
Yeah.
It's
definitely.
the American flag.
I know, but you also have to look into the intentions, Cenk. They're not wearing the American flag shirts.
Wear it tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I love that they're choosing Cinco de Mayo to do it, and because they're trying to incite shit, as Ben said. It's absolutely true. And when administrators need to keep students safe, if that's the measure that they have to take that measure.
Okay.
And it doesn't work anyway. I'm not incited because your shirt was now backwards. Okay, like they know he's wearing the American flag and stuff. Look, if it was a Confederate flag, okay, then I'm with you. Whoa, that's like white power. That's out of control. It's going to lead to fights, etc.
I know, but again,
You lost all people. You lost your argument right there. You're done. You cannot maintain both those arguments. If you want to wear a Confederate flag shirt, then you get to wear a Confederate flag shirt. You want to wear an American flag shirt because the American flag is okay, the Confederate flag isn't?
That's right.
Yeah, but that's
absolutely right.
Well, you came from the South. The Confederate flag flies on top of the South Carolina State House.
If you want to wear a Confederate flag on any given day in South Carolina or whatever, if I'm the principal, I'm going to let you wear that. I'm a huge believer in freedom of expression, not just constitutionally, but in practice, right? Mm-hmm. So go ahead and wear that. But if you're wearing it on Cinco de Mayo and you're trying to start a fight, okay, now you've gone too far.
Can you wear the Confederate flag at all during Black History Month in the South?
It depends on the context. So of course it depends on the context, right? But even in this context where apparently there's been some hostilities, etc., you can't say the American flag is hostile. It's our flag.
It's being worn on purpose to annoy the Hispanic students.
So they're not be annoyed by the American flag.
Okay, but then so what? Then you're wearing the Confederate flag to annoy the black students.
You can't be annoyed by the American flag in America.
You just can't. Sorry.
You can't be annoyed by the Confederate flag in South Carolina. It's on the fucking state house.
No, they lost.
If they had won, you'd be right. But they didn't win. They lost to America.
That's a weak ass argument.
So you take
that argument blows.
But again, as I said earlier, this district has had an issue with race relations between white students and Hispanic students, right?
But my
so
point
again,
is,
it's about the intentions of the white students. The students aren't wearing the American flag shirt because they feel like being patriotic, right? They're doing it because they want to start a fight. That's the only reason. So if the administrators want to protect all students and make sure that something doesn't break out, then they have to do it.
That's by far the most important thing here. Like, conceptually, you guys are right. Of course you should be able to wear the American flag. But on one given day, the courts are saying very logically and very thoughtfully, I'm going to defer here to the administrators and making sure this day ends safely. Well, if there's a pattern, if it continues for the week, if it's the next day, a bunch of kids say we're going to wear our Mexican flags all week, and on May 6th, they want to wear your American flags. By the way, if I were running the district then, I'd be like, nobody's wearing a fucking flag on any shirt for the rest of the school year.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, you have to make a blanket.
Yeah, how do you let the Mexican flag stand?
And you can't wear the American? Is that the policy?
I mean, you know me. I'm as liberal as it gets. I'm in favor of this and that. But you can't. Look, this is the only country in the world where we even have this conversation. Maybe that's a good thing, right?
Sure.
Yeah. But like in Turkey, I can't imagine. They're like, oh no, the guys wearing the Greek flags are all right, but the Turkish flag you gotta wear upside down or whatever. I mean, there'd be a riot. That would be inconceivable.
Because one of these things, you're wearing it as a sign of you as a minority of some civic pride, one fucking day. And to have the guys, as we talk, the sort of establishment in power, just wear a shirt that day to say, I hate what you're doing. I hate your moment of civic pride. I hate it so much that I'm going to walk around all day going like, not here, not in my schoolyard do you get to celebrate who you are, not fucking today.
No, but I perceive the American flag not as a screw you, we're white. I perceive it as...
But that's your perception of it.
No, but
that's
if I'm not talking about it,
intentions.
I'm not talking about it from the perspective of the white students. I'm talking about it from the perspective of the Mexican American or whatever other Latino students. I perceive that as, oh, congratulations, you wore my flag. You're not any more American than I am, so you wore an American flag. Great. So what? Look, hey, let's go together. You're American and I'm Mexican American, and look, together we're Mexican American. We got both flags.
And if there were no history of an issue in this district, then nobody would have brought that up and everyone would be like, bravo. I, of course, completely agree with you that conceptually, everybody ought to be able to wear their stupid flags, whatever they stupid want to wear their stupid flags on their stupid t-shirts, which is not, you should wear a stupid flag anyway. It's a flag, it's not a t-shirt symbol. But you gotta defer to people who are trying to protect students and make sure that they get through the day without trouble.
So, all right, JR and Jesus, you guys got to weigh in because we're tied.
It's just because, you know, those people who are complaining about wearing, or the ones who are wearing the American flag on that day are the same fucking people who are going to complain about a Mexican wearing a Mexican flag on 4th of July or some shit like that. You know what I mean? They're the same fucking people who would be super sensitive to that. So it's bullshit.
No, yeah, I hear you, but I would then reverse my, like, I would keep the same argument.
You would stay consistent?
Of course. If 4th of July, which luckily they're not in school on 4th of July, but if they were in school, right, summer school or whatever, and the Mexicans came in with Mexican flags to incite the white kids who don't like it, well, that's tough on the white kids. They were allowed to wear whatever the fuck they want. That's crazy talk.
The irony man would swoop in and say, hey, that symbol of freedom and liberty, I'm going to suppress it. I want you to turn it inside out, and that's the way that's our civics lessons for today, that sometimes it's not okay to express freedom and liberty.
Well, I mean, that's, of course, again, we all agree you can wear an American flag t-shirt. This is where the precedent comes in this particular scenario in this particular school. There's been tension. So again, if my kid who's just wearing a blue t-shirt that day or decided to wear a green t-shirt that day has nothing to do with this whole fight, and he happens to be in the hallway and there's a big fight and people are getting thrown around and my kid gets his head banged against the wall and he has some kind of concussion or injury, I'm gonna come and say, why did you let this shit happen? What's going on in this school? Why don't you guys need to quell this shit because you have a problem with me now. Because my kid, it doesn't mean just because two guys are fighting, no one else is going to get involved.
At a bare minimum, if you guys are going to say that everybody's got to turn their shirts around. Like, you don't get to fly the Mexican flag.
Why are you applying
But the fact that the school has made a day for Cinco de Mayo, which maybe you can argue they shouldn't do it, but they're doing that to promote the minority kids of the school and all that stuff. But if they're going to have that day, they just sanction something. They got to control it now.
Why are you today applying a zero tolerance rule that you never apply any other time?
It's not a zero tolerance. You guys are telling me it's super dangerous. We might have fights at any second, and both sides are trying to antagonize each other. So everybody turn their shirt around. Or take your fucking shirt off. Everybody go topless today.
What I'm saying is that the only people who know what's happening theoretically in the school are the people running the school, who I'm going to guess are doing a pretty good job of making sure that shit doesn't happen. And that seems, again, with a standard of what's the reasonable government intrusion to prevent this, and making a kid turn around a t-shirt, no matter what's on the t-shirt, strikes me as reasonable government intrusion.
All right, so the final word on this is that Jimmy and I have lost. It's 4-2, sad day for us. Okay, they get to turn the shirts around.
Man,
the court decision stands.
I can't believe it, America.
But I'll tell you what, Jesus, you want me to turn that off on Cinco de Mayo? Not gonna happen. Actually, you can turn it off because you're the director.
Check this, like, where's the remote?
There's no way I can turn it back on.